Hi guys, I heard that some of you are having trouble with solving the two-step equations, so I thought I would go over some notes to get you started on the packet. And let's start with an example. Just to remind you from what you saw in Khan Academy, two-step equations are equations that can be solved in two steps. There's a typo. One step is to undo the addition and subtraction. You always want to do that first. The other step is to undo the multiplication and division. And remember, when they say undo, we always want to do the opposite. So if we look at this example, 3w plus 5 equals 23, our first step, we want to get rid of the plus 5. So we're going to subtract 5 first. Okay, remember the reason we do that is because this is a zero pair that makes 0 and gets rid of it, but we always have to do the same thing to both sides of the equation, and the equal sign is what divides it into two sides. So let's see what we have so far. That's step 1. We now bring everything down. We have 3w equals 18. And then our second step, we need to get rid of this 3. The 3 right now is multiplied onto w, so to get rid of it, we want to do the opposite, which is divide by 3. Three divided by 3 is 1, so that makes 1w, or w. 18 divided by 3 is 6, and then we're finished. So why don't you give the 4 problems at the bottom a try. You could pause the video here and then try them, and then you can come back to the video and see if you got them correct. Okay, let's see how you did with the 4 examples at the bottom. First thing we would do here, we have 3 added, so we want to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. That gets rid of the plus 3, and we have 2x equals 6. To get rid of the 2 that's multiplied by x, we want to divide by 2. And again, do the same thing to both sides of your equation. That gives me x equals 3. Okay, and there's another page that we'll go over for checking, but for right now, we'll just stick with that as our answer. Let's look at this one. First step would be to subtract 2. That gives me 3x equals 21, and then divide by 3. I get x equals 7. All right, the next one, we're trying to get y by itself. So again, our final goal is to have y equals. I need to get rid of the negative 2 that's multiplied and the 7 that is subtracted. You always want to get rid of the addition and subtraction first. So in this case, I'm going to add 7 to both sides. Bring everything down that hasn't, we want to simplify that. I have a negative 2y equal to 3 plus 7 is 10. And then I want to divide by negative 2. Ten divided by negative 2 is negative 5, so just be careful with your positive and negative rules. And again, we'll go through how to check it later on in the packet, but just to make sure that you got that y is equal to negative 5. All right, last one. Don't be intimidated by the fractions. We have 4 added to 2/5 times r equal to negative 2. So we need to get rid of this 4 that's added and this 2/5 that's multiplied. So let's start with the 4 that's added. I want to subtract 4 here. Okay, because if you look at this, that's a positive 4. When I subtract 4, I make 0, which is how I get rid of it. So start by subtracting 4. Bring everything down so we can do our second step. We have 2/5 r equals, oops, I forgot to subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. And then since this r is multiplied by 2/5, if you have a calculator, it may be just as easy to divide both sides by 2/5. 2/5 divided by 2/5 is 1r, so we have r. Let's see, -6 divided by 2/5, that's the same as -6 times 5/2. I don't have a calculator, so I'm going to have to do it. Looks like that is equal to -15. So divide both sides by 2/5, and you get r equals -15. And then eventually we will check it. So hopefully you did okay with that one. Check the next video for the second page, and then hopefully you'll feel more comfortable that you can do them on your own.